What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Panda here, and today I bring you another update video. I feel like these are happening way quicker than they probably should be, especially at the state of the game that I've already made it to very quickly. But guys, we have made another big leap in progression, more than even I was expecting to happen. If you've been following me on YouTube or Twitch for any given amount of time, you'll know that I am a relatively new player. Just hit day 35 at the time of this recording, and we have made a lot of significant progression. I think this is part in due to the updated storyline gear, giving you a ton of damage on a DPS character, which allows for very good early game progress, allowing for you to start getting the good pieces of gear even faster, along with some very good RNG in both the summon department and the gear dropping department, where I've gotten several really well-rolled ancient gear that has just been phenomenal for my overall progression. But guys, today was a big milestone for my account as we reached day 35, which means we had the ability to clear Tide 105. And if you don't know, Tide 105 gives you an A1 Volca, because it gives you a legendary Volca Soul Stone, allowing you to take your Volca you get for free from storyline to A1. And if you don't know what Volca does, Volca A1 gives you a allies revival time reduced by 25%, which is phenomenal and allows for a lot of very interesting tactics, including the ability to cheese certain locations of the game, and one of those locations is Gear Raid 2. Now, if you are familiar with my content, my videos, you'll know that I've already cleared Gear Raid 1 on stage 19 and Gear Raid 3 on stage 19. Two very large jumps in progression. But guys, my goal with getting A1 Volca was to clear Gear Raid 2 stage 19, but we actually cleared Gear Raid 2 stage 20. And that is what I want to talk about today. This was the team that we used, and it's a very interesting strategy. I'm not going to go over it too in depth, but I am going to, show you guys the run. And I think what I'll end up doing is doing a guide for stage 20 Gear Raid 2, really just Gear Raid 2 in general, the 19, the 20, and the 21 on the strat. And we'll probably go ahead and use some of the clips from my stream where I actually did the progression live. But this was the team that I used for stage 20. And you'll notice that it's a little bit of a wonky team. There's, you'd expect there to be some specific stuff in here, and not all that stuff is here per se. But with this strategy, what you're able to do is you're able to drop the characters you need and remove them and get quite a large lead in terms of progression, because you're not going to be hit with those giant AoEs that the boss does, because your units aren't going to even be on the board. So I'm going to make one quick change here, because in order for this to work, I do have to have my Dolores in a Spirit Horn. Very good artifact if you don't already know. Especially when you're using this Volca strategy, because you're going to be deploying, removing your character several times, and getting Dolores with that sweet 25% starter buff is very, very good. Now, I'm not going to play this on manual because it is very specific with the timing, and you can definitely make a lot of mistakes. So we're going to watch an auto fight just so you can see that it is complete and that it works very effectively. And then, like I said, in the future, we'll make another video talking about the strategy where I will show you the actual live play of me doing this, on manual for the first time. So you'll see here that we're basically placing a couple units at the start. We're placing Narvi to get that cost reduction. We're placing Abomination to tank the mobs. We're placing Hatsoot to deal damage to the mobs. And then we're removing both Abomination and Hatsoot and Narvi once you cast your ultimate, in order to recoup some of the cost of using them in the first place and make it so that you don't get hit by the AoE of the boss. And you'll notice that this is a recurring factor, right? This is something that happens all the time. You're placing down units to take the hits from the rolling golems. I guess they run now, but against the running golems, and then you remove them in order to save the cost. You drop another set, remove them if you can to save the cost. And then here you're placing down your 2 tanks, you're placing down your DPS, and you're bursting the mobs. And this is something you do. This dungeon consists of 2 phases, and I'll go into that in more depth in the video. But ultimately, guys, this was a large jump in progression that even I wasn't prepared for. And I have to give a huge shout out to my Twitch chat. They really helped me a lot when making these minor little changes. You know, I was very close to the timing to start with, but I made some little minor changes, and then we realized that, you know, cost was going to be a problem, so we made some changes with how I placed things, and then we added Narvi, and we were able to get things down really well and able to get down this 20. In fact, we were very close to even getting down 21, which would have been ridiculous. Unfortunately, our hats is not quite strong enough to be able to deal all the damage that's necessary. However, I'm really, really proud of the progression that I've made in Gear Raid 2. It's a little unfortunate that it happened the day after the Gear Raid 2 tournament that just happened, but ultimately it's still huge progression for when we are going to be pushing forward, and I'm really, really excited to see what happens going forward. But guys, this was just a real quick video just to show you again that we are, you know, on day 35. You know, it is 5:22 a.m. for me while I'm recording this, as you can see in the bottom right corner. So we are, you know, a little bit into the day. My reset's at 1, so we're about 5 or so hours into reset. But ultimately, I mean, guys, we've made a lot of progress. We haven't even gone to A5 Wrath, which is, I think, crazy in my opinion. And I'm really, really excited to see what else we can do going forward. So guys, if you liked this video, please don't forget to hit the like button. Comment down below with what stage of Gear Raid 2 are you on? Have you cleared all the way up to 21, or are you still progressing through the earlier stages? And also, if you like my content and you want to see more stuff from me in the future, please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.